Hi, I'm Cindy Brinker Simmons. I'm president of the Connolly Brinker Tennis Foundation. But even more especially, I am the daughter of Maureen Connolly, Little Mo. Maureen Connolly won Wimbledon 3 years in a row in 1952, 53, and 54. And she was the only woman, and still the only American woman, to win the Calendar Grand Slam in 1953. She was affectionately known as Little Mo because a very well-known sports writer likened her powerful strokes with the battleship USS Missouri, which was the most powerful battleship that was made during World War II. So Maureen Connolly, also known as Little Mo, is my mom and is the namesake of the Maureen Connolly Brinker Tennis Foundation. So if Mom was here, sadly she died in 1969 of cancer at age 34. But if she was here, I think she would give a message somewhat like this, because I want to talk about attributes that she thought were important. And I thought a fun way to do that would be to use her letters, Little Mo, in an acrostic, L-I-T-T-L-E-M-O, Little Mo. So L, let's start with L. L, I think Mom would say, is love the experience here. Enjoy the friends you meet, young ones. We really encourage friendship. We encourage the players to get to know one another, because yes, this is very competitive. We are the small fragment in junior tennis of the elite, gifted, and talented, with our sweet spot being ages 8 to 12. We also have Big Mo, which is 13, 14, 15, and 16, but our sweet spot is ages 8 to 12. So we encourage these young players to get to know each other, and they do. They get to be friends on Instagram and Facebook. They go to college together and sometimes have their roommates. They play doubles together in their careers, and we've even had one of our players, Cece Bellis, who was a Little Mo champion and was actually a professional on the women's tour, but sadly she had to retire because of injuries. She ended up marrying someone she met when she was 8 years old at Little Mo. So relationships are anchored deep in our tournament. So L, love the experience. I, integrity. Now that's a big word for our young players, but it means honesty. Because if Mom was here, she'd say one of the most important attributes in life, well beyond tennis, is honesty. What that means is fair play in tennis, calling the ball in when it's in, not calling it out, being a good sport on the court. And we have an absolute intolerance to any coaching by parents or coaches while the kids are on the court. No coaching, because we believe that the tennis court is a classroom for young players figuring out how to win on their own, not because their parents are coaching them. Tennis is a great educational tool. So integrity on the court, but also outside the court, because your word, being truthful, being honest, that people can count when you say something, it's going to be true and honorable. And that is an attribute well after you're a champion on the court to take into living and to master the skill of living. So integrity, L-I. Now T. T is a very important part of our program. It's being thankful. Being thankful for the people that our young kids have as a team. Yes, when those young players are out on the court, they're on their own. They're playing on their own. They're playing their shots. They're figuring out on the tennis courts on their own. But they have a community called a family. Fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, coaches that are their community, their team, that will love them no matter if they win or lose. So being thankful for those people. And we say not only our trophies, when they get the trophies, which is our 6-foot trophy that we give to the players who win our slam tournaments, all of our 3 international tournaments in one calendar year. And right now I'm at the 2nd of our international tournaments. I'm in West Orange Tennis Club at our Little Mo Internationals in New Jersey. But if a player wins all 3 of our international tournaments, they get this big 6-foot trophy, and this is the largest in tennis. But also they get individual trophies if they win 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, consolation. But when we hand out those trophies, we say, yes, trophies are important. That hardware shows your hard work, your talent. But the real treasures are the people behind the camera, the family that loves you, supports you, encourages you. So being thankful for all that you have, and being thankful for the officials and even the members of the Connolly Brinker Tennis Foundation who put on this tournament. So thankful. The next T in little is tenacity. This is really important. It's determination. It's a big word for our little kids, but it means determination. It means staying in the game. It means even if you're down love 40, don't give up. My mom believed that practice was so important. And she was tenacious. She was sacrificial in her desire to be number one, because to be number one or to be good at anything, you have to give it your all. You have to make sacrifices. So tenacity is so important. The next L in Little Mo is learning. When Mom was number one in the world, I wasn't born because she was a teenager. But someone told me when I was young that Mom was a world champion because she was so humble, it took your breath away. So one day, even though Mom never wanted me to play tennis, I took up some tennis lessons, and I had a really bad lesson. So I went and asked Mom, Mommy, when you were number one in the world, did you stop taking tennis lessons? And she looked at me and said, honey, the day I would have stopped taking tennis lessons would have been the day I would have stopped being number one in the world. And what she was saying is, whenever you stop desiring to learn, to grow, to develop, to improve, it's a self-fulfilled prophecy. You lose. So she kept taking tennis lessons even though she was number one in the world. She wanted to continue to learn. So we really stress learning as very important. And the final E in Little is enthusiasm. We want our young players to continue to have the enthusiasm that Mom had. Look at that smile. That enthusiasm for this great game called tennis. The passion, the love will ignite excitement to continue to practice. And it's an enthusiasm that our kids need to have, not the enthusiasm of their parents or their coaches or best friends. Because that enthusiasm is what will propel them to continue to play and to prosper in this great sport called tennis. So that's Little, L-I-T-T-L-E. Mo, M, modeling. Our kids, 8 to 12, and then our big Mo, 13, 14, 15, 16s, are models, role models. And we tell them that even at 8 years old, there are others looking up to them because they have taken what God designed them to do with their gifts and talents, and they have, by their own motivation, by their encouragement of family, by their gift from God, they have excelled, and they are playing and winning championships at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these young kids are role models to a watching world. Yes, to their friends, and even to adults, their parents. We marvel at the excellence we see on the tennis courts from these young champions. And the last O is others, being other-focused. Mom was absolutely focused on giving back to the sport. And you talk about a role model, you're never too young to be a role model, because Mom at age 16 won the US Open, and at 17, 18, and 19, she was number one in the world. So it's never too young to be a role model as a teenager. But what Mom did is, after an accident that she had at age 19, she took her passion, her enthusiasm for the sport, and gave back to the sport by creating the Connolly Brinker Tennis Foundation, the Little Mo tournaments that we are experiencing today, because she wanted to give back. She was other-focused, not self-focused. And she knew that tennis had blessed her with so much that she wanted to give back. So being other-focused. So the motto of, the mission of the Connolly Brinker Tennis Foundation is furthering and developing junior tennis. We do that well. But again, L, we want to have the kids to learn to love, just to love the experience they have integrity, give thankfulness, an attitude of gratitude, have tenacity. You can't win without tenacity. Then also learn, never stop learning. Be enthusiastic about this marvelous sport called tennis. Cherish being a role model and use that gift and that platform wisely. Humility is very important, but they are role models. And O, to give back to the sport, be other focused. Thank you for playing Little Mo. We treasure our families. We treasure those who play and play Mo tennis. Thank you.